gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Streaming Matters. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. We've got a show full of topics, and we're going to see what everybody thinks about it. I've got some folks on my panel. We're going to see how what they're thinking or their thoughts on some of our topics. So, welcome to the show. First of all, I'll start over on this side. C-Man, thank you for jumping on the show.
Absolutely. How's everybody doing?
C-Man is works on a lot of different projects. So if you've seen his name on Telegram or in some add-ons builds, this is the guy. Got his lots of talent to the seat to my left. So thank you for coming on the show, Mr. C-Man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, always. And we got Mark down here, who anybody that's in my Telegram group knows Mark and knows this man has all kinds of knowledge. This guy's been in the big K app as long as me, if not longer than me. I've known him in this application for as long as I can remember. I'm not sure when you started, Big Mark.
I don't remember.
It's been a long time. But this guy's got insight in skinning and builds, some insight on add-ons. He's been there, done that.
I remember I started on gaming. That's what I started on.
Yeah, it's been a while. You've been around a while, though.
And I got dragged into Cody.
Yeah. We all got dragged in there, but you know, that's our home. So that's who's on our panel right now. We'll see who else jumps on the panel. Not sure who's going to come on here, putting the invite out there for folks, because we're going to talk about the K20 Nexus. This has been the topic, and it may not be popular. We may say some things that aren't as is YouTube friendly for some folks, because everybody's doing videos about how to jump onto the new platform, and it may not be the best thing for everybody. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some stuff with the Fire TV. We're going to talk about Plex. Got lots of stuff. If you're looking for any of the information, Mark knows a little bit about Plex too, just a little bit. We got information, links down below. So if I'm talking about a subject and you're like, Dabs, you talked about something, where did you get your information? Check the URLs down below in the show notes. I've got notes that takes you to the websites where we got the information. Read it on your own time. Don't take my word or somebody else's word. Read it for yourself and make up your own mind. Before we get started, I do like to say hi to the folks over here, over in the side chat. We got Steve's hanging with us. He was the first one in the chat, so he was in here probably an hour and a half ago. Eddie's hanging with us. Luis, nice to see him. Let's see. So Heel hanging with us. Nice to see Judd. Red, as always, hanging with us. We got lots of folks that hang with us every week. Nook, sorry.
Our golf partner.
The what?
Our golf partner.
Our golf partner. Yeah, I got you. Look at you're all hooked up on that. We'll talk about that towards the end of the show, because he's got an addiction and needs to talk to somebody. Patty D, thank you for joining us, my dear. And Tribalize. Paul's hanging with us. Michael, as always. Eddie, Mr. E's hanging with us. Nice to see him. Leon. Awesome to see everybody. Tech. Nice to see you. Skulls is hanging with us. Nice to see him. We may see Alban. He is on his way home. He was going to try to jump on the show, so he knows where to find the link, and he'll just come on once he gets home. But he has been under the weather. I've been praying for my man every day because he just can't catch a break. But yeah, hopefully he's going to be home. He's headed home. So Trevor, thank you for joining us. Marco Elthros is hanging with us. Dub Beach, look at there, Captain Graybeard.
The
Look at
beat.
Oh yeah, I
Dave's
just
gonna.
noticed that.
Yeah, he's got to
Looking on
hit
the
you.
camera.
Yeah, Dave's like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna show my face, but I'm pointing out something on Mark. Cord Cutter hanging with us, 619. So lots of folks all hanging with us. Oh, A1. Haven't seen Wolfger in a little bit. Nice to see you. So again, this platform is open. If you guys want to jump on the show, if you have some information you want to share with folks, if you want to give your insight to things, I always have the panel open as long as people can be civil, and that's gonna be difficult for Mark already. I can already tell. No, if people can be civil about things and have a discussion, I don't mind anybody coming on the show. Talk about your knowledge, because this is all what we're going to do is share some knowledge. Peter's hanging with us. Yeah. So let's go ahead, jump into our first topic. What do you think? The big K thing. So let me go ahead and share my screen here for a second. No, I don't want that one. I want this one. Oh shoot! I didn't even realize I had this open in. Oh, never mind. So,
Yes, I have a cat cup.
meow. Okay, allow. All right. So you guys caught this on the screen? Is it showing for you guys? Because
Yep.
Yep.
all right.
I got it.
So Nexus 20 came out, and you guys know this. I was betting on the 20th. I really felt like the 20th, and they beat me by 5 days. They said the 15th. So I'm lucky we didn't do a pool on this, but came out on the 15th. This is the new version of Cody. It came out. So we went from 19 over to 20. And I'll just glance through some of the release notes, and that means the things that the developers said that they've added. And they give
But one thing
Yep.
people should know is with their release notes, they apply to how Cody is meant to be used.
Oh,
The
really?
library and stuff, not third-party add-ons and all that.
Well, yeah, we know that they've really they've always focused on more of that stuff, and yeah, they may be moving to make it more difficult for add-ons than prior, because
I know I
some
can't
bad
even
press.
install a build with I use Avast, and I can't even install a build because it blocks it. So everybody's even Defender. We know Defender's a problem.
Yeah, and
All
we
the
talked about that last
Yeah.
show. We talked about Defender.
All the programs are jumping on now and blocking them.
Well, they look for certain parts of code.
Yeah, the
Uh,
obfuscated stuff that people do.
Yeah, they look for that kind of stuff, and if they see that, they're flagged as a possible dangerous, a possible issue. So they're all getting it. So I will run through the major features. Multiple incidents of binary add-ons. When I was looking through this, now again, I wasn't sure what that was, but I wonder, does this mean, because it says Cody will allow? Hold on a second, we got another guest from jumping in here. Mr. Funster B's hanging with us. Thank you for joining, Funster.
Hello, everybody.
Yo.
Nice to see you. Another
Hey, fun.
another builder
Very-
from the community, quite knowledgeable in all kinds of aspects of this. Uh-oh, is he gonna have the dog asleep again? Oh yeah, it is pretty late for you.
They're both asleep, yeah. I mute myself.
All right. So hey, I just wanted we're running through the KApps 20. We're looking at some of the release notes and what some of the new features, because everybody always wants the new shiny penny, and we're to see what's new. So multiple incidents of binary add-ons, and this made me wonder, because in here it says TV head end users can now run one instance of an add-on connecting to multiple back-end TV servers for individual settings like channel groups, hidden channels, maintaining per add-on instances. So does that mean that they're going to try to make it to where that you can do multi-screen in within some of the live TV feeds?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking that means.
Cody, or the K word, whatever
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
call it, they love their PVRs.
Yes. And a lot of people like PVR. I don't personally use the PVR inside of the K app. I don't. It's not.
Nor do I.
It's. I don't know. What about you, Funster? I know Mark probably doesn't watch a whole lot. Do either of you guys use
No,
the PVR feature?
I don't
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah. I let my live TV app be my live TV app, and the K app be my VOD for movies, TV, stuff like that. And I just find it slows down the whole application for me when I add live TV features. It can be done. Add the
Oh, yeah.
PVR. It is live TV. It can be done. To
A
me, it
lot of
slows
builders
stuff down.
do it.
Yeah, it's flashy. It looks good when you
Yep.
post that. Look at this TV guide. You can get all
Yeah,
these
you got to
channels.
jingle the keys for the baby.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of people love that. But
Well, because they're coming from cable and they want it to be
Yeah.
like their cable experience.
Exactly. There are those newer cord cutters that are trying to get that. You're right. That cable TV look and feel. This is your cable TV replacement. It can be, but it's not turnkey situation. I think it's a little bit of a learning curve. So, yeah, I think that when I read that about the multiple instances of binary add-ons, it made me think that that's possibly what that feature may be. We're going to see now. Add-ons right now will not do it because
But
if they just added this is going to be something they're going to have to add to some code. Did you got something, Funster?
yeah, binary add-ons are already a big mess, so they're gonna make it harder.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And can you imagine someone with 4 feeds in the K word and none of them work?
yeah. It's going to be. We'll see what happens. Again, this is new. They've released this now. It's been in beta and alpha, but it takes time. Once it becomes an official release, then you really get the masses get to it. Any of us that have had an add-on in the past, you can run testing and you can run all kinds of beta crap amongst you and your friends and the people you trust with all kinds of stuff. You don't ever find out the issues until you release it to the masses. And when it releases to everybody is when you're going to find out the problems. And this is what the team here is going to find out. Once they release the stuff, then they find all the bugs because you've got all this mixture of who's installed what and their setups. And that's when true bugs show. That's when we're going to find out, and we're already seeing that. We'll talk about that in just a second.
What was it,
we've already seen it.
17 or was it 18 where it wasn't good until they updated like 2-3 times?
Well,
It might have been 17.
yeah, it might have been 17. I know 19.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
17,
really
and
good.
then 18. I remember they updated that, and they broke the zips in it, so they had to update it again.
Yeah,
There's
and touchscreen.
yeah.
Touchscreen was broken also.
Yeah, in 18.
So all right, so we have another feature that they've got. AV1 video support. So this is going to be native inside the K app that we're going to make it. And some of us have already seen AV1 has been supported in other applications. Supposedly now it's going to be uploaded, in which I didn't realize it. So all right, so this is a funny topic. Subtitles reworked. Now, what is the first thing we've been hearing? I've heard the first complaint about the thing that's broke right now.
Subtitles don't work.
Yep.
So, all right. So they did some updates to the subtitles, and every day I read my subtitles don't work anymore in 20. We're gonna see where this goes, and maybe it's because they've changed some things in the subtitling applications, or the subtitle scripts are going to have to add something to it. But it's they reworked it, and so since they reworked it, it kind of broke to when people are using prior versions.
Yeah.
No,
I
mainly
use
that was it add-ons for Cody. subtitles add-on. That's one that's mainly
A4K.
used.
A4K works. I use it
Okay.
every day.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
does work.
yeah, I don't use subtitles
But
very often.
but the repo still doesn't.
Yeah, and so there's another topic in just a second. So repos are an issue too in 20.
Yes.
Some of the game stuff for people that are playing retro games, I guess through their on their K app. I again, can it be done? Sure, it can be. And gaming through your device sounds really good, but to me, I got separate things for each thing because each thing does it well. You can't do everything well. You know, you can do everything, but you can all do it. You can do them half-ass, or you can specialize in certain things. And to me, I'm leaving my gaming for my gaming application. I'm leaving my live TV for my live TV. But they fixed some stuff on that. Windows HD support, HDR. So this is your 4K stuff for people on Windows. I didn't notice an issue, but I don't watch on a PC. I'm not sure. Did you guys know of an issue with an HDR support?
I haven't tried it. All I know is Windows, they want like a buck or two to enable it.
No.
No, but on Android, it definitely pops up HDR10. If you're watching HDR10 and you have the TV for it, it'll pop it up on the screen.
Okay, yeah, because mine will just say HDR in the past. It just said HDR in the top corner. So now it tells you which version of HDR.
Yeah, and it actually puts it next to the link you're playing.
Oh, okay.
It'll put HDR. I mean, I guess it depends on the skin, but
yeah. So so that's one of the upper big features. Context menu consistency. Now this is I'm not a Skinner, Funster, or well, any of you three might be able to answer to this. Context menu, which context menu is when you long hold on your button and it brings up that little menu. In some add-ons will have a separate menu of features, so it's supposed to bring more consistency to from I guess from skin to skin, or maybe from Windows to Android.
Well, I think that's another case of if you use Cody the legal way, then it'll matter because, like you said, add-ons could set their own context menus to do whatever they want. So, unless Cody's gonna knock that out and say, "Hey, you have to use our base one."
Yeah, I don't think that they would take that away, but I don't know. Because it says this makes the function of context menu much more consistent over different windows and enables more new compatibilities like playback of albums directly from widgets, series, resume, etc. to be added. So this would, again, this is going to fall more into probably the Skinners or people doing that type of work, maybe not the end user.
maybe Funster is. I haven't noticed any difference.
I've never used a context menu.
Yeah, don't use context menus.
Don't use. I mean,
I don't either.
I mean, I use the context menus. I don't know. I've never really changed any of them, but maybe they're going to
add to favorites. That's the only thing that's useful there.
Yep, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah. Add to favorites. Well, when I use a couple add-ons, there's one where I can go and rescrape the links, and sometimes because I have TV set up as autoplay, so my TV stuff will autoplay my links, but sometimes it's picking the links that I don't want. So there's times where I have to rescrape, and then tell it, no, I don't want that one. I want this one. So
well, a lot of people want to see info too about the movie. Or
yeah,
TV
yeah,
show.
and that's when they works because sometimes that info button doesn't always work. So.
No, it doesn't.
So this is 20. So let's go ahead and talk about the known issues. And I'm gonna say this is a
Can I say something more?
Yeah. Yep.
There are lots of new features also, like for color picker and stuff. Like the umbrella dev already implemented it, but the skins aren't up to date to show them. So he had to reverse it back.
color picker. Now, color picker was where you could choose the almost like a theme, but you can pick which things, which colors are on. Are you talking about in the add-on itself? You're able to change the colors.
Yeah, and he used a new feature, but none of the skins have it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's the
broken in
problem.
20.
And that's the problem when you release when new features come out. Everybody rushes to get the newest thing, but not everybody's caught up to it, and so everybody thinks that that's what you got to have. Uh, it may not be. You may want to hold back. And I said this when we went from 18 to 19, and everybody, you know, I'm already moving on. No, that may not be the best solution for you. Personally, I have 19.4 running on my daily driver. It's the device I use every day, 19.4, and I installed a fork of 20 thanks to Funstore. I think he released it, put it out there. But basically, it's an isolated installation, and I'm able to install and play with that one setup without messing up my daily driver, the one that I want to use on a regular basis. I highly suggest people to do that because there's nothing worse when you're ready to sit down with a loved one and watch whatever you're wanting to watch, and shit's broke. And that's because you've upgraded to the newest, fanciest shiny penny, and guess what? It ain't doing what it needs to be doing. So stick to an old reliable until this gets situated.
All I've
Yeah.
seen all day is people getting auto updated again, and they're freaking out.
Well, a lot of people installed via the Google Store,
I know.
and we talked about that on from 18 to 19, folks.
I know.
Side load. If you're going to install Cody, side load it, because when you tell Google install this for me, default is that you get the auto updates, which means when a new version releases to the Google Play Store, you get it. I don't care if it's a working version or a broken version, you get it. And there's no going back. You cannot. I've seen people say, "Well, I'm on 20 now. I want to go back to 19." No. If you go to 19, you have to wipe everything, install 19, then install whatever builds you had. That's the only way. There's no rolling back to 19 if once 20 is installed. So yeah, the auto updates, and I think that's because the Google Play Store picked it up. We're probably in the last day or two because mine's side loaded. So I didn't get that. And I did a video. You can turn off those auto updates for certain applications. I had auto updates turned off. So you know, if you procrastinated, well, you know, you kind of where you are.
Yeah.
So
I haven't told anyone because I'm just tired of repeating it.
yeah. Because well, you're in a lot of groups and you do answer a lot of questions, and you're, you know, man on the spot a lot of answering. A lot of times when Dabs ignores a question, and I'll look, and Mark's usually one that's answering, and I'm thinking, damn, why didn't you just let that one go? But
well, like I was saying in the chats that people probably seen, 20 isn't really ready for our third-party stuff. So unfortunately, you go on places like, there's some really bad places to get your info from, like Reddit and stuff. And some of the rocket scientists there are installing Cody 21 nightly releases already because they have issues with 20. So it's like, oh, 20 is the problem? Go to 21. You'll be fine.
And 21 is all right. So for folks that are watching that may say, I don't understand how this works. All right, so when Cody comes out with something, they release it's like a nightly build. And I mean, I'm talking, this is test versions. They create a test version and they update it nightly, every few nights, so whatever, they'll update it. And it's like a test mode. And then once it gets, let's say, a year down the road, then they make it a beta, which means it's a little more stable and more people try it as a beta. Or no, it's an alpha, excuse me, an alpha. So it's an alpha, then it becomes a beta, then it becomes release client, or release candidate, I should say, release candidate, then it gets released. So there's all them steps. So if you're messing around with a nightly, you're messing with, you know, raw, it could be full of all kinds of stuff. And so if you're a hobbyist, knock yourself out. If you're a person with more knowledge, you don't mind all that. I don't mind tinkering with it. I don't mind reading an error log. If you can't, if you don't, all right, this is a good rule of thumb. If you don't know how to find the Cody.log or the Cody log, if you don't know how to find that, you should not be installing anything outside of what is really
Amen.
officially released. Because when there's issues, you ain't gonna know how to fix it. So
my wizard has a nice feature for that. My new wizard.
really, does it
yeah,
have a
you can
Cody log reader?
Yeah, you can read the log, the old log, and the error log.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
nice.
they've all done that.
I'm
I'm
not ever.
using an older wizard, and it still does that. And I mean, if you want, you could set them up to actually email the logs to somebody.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
mine just shows it on a pop-up screen, so they have to screenshot it.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, see, I'm running the simple, but I'm running an older version, a little bit older version.
There's
Uh,
going to be an update pushed soon.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the simple wizard because I need to update mine. I updated it. I tried. You actually were the one that told me you need to update your wizard last time you checked out my wizard because I had the very first version of simple wizard. Once I did it, I'm like, I'm done. You know, I'm
Bare
done for a
bones.
while. So yeah, so we'll. So it's so we're looking at if you're installing and you're doing this stuff, highly suggest use 19 as stable. And you can, if you're all right, let's say that your application is updated to 19 and you're like, what do I do? There's plenty of forks of 19.3, 4, 5, whichever one you want to get. Install a fork and install the build of your choice, or even create your own build and use 19 for a while if your system has updated to 20. Because you can't go back, and if 20 is already there, the other downside that a lot of people don't realize is when you migrate from 19 to 20, a lot of times there's hidden bugs, gremlins, or issues that are isolated to you that are not system wide for everybody because
Because
you
everyone
had
has a different setup.
yeah, everybody had different add-ons or had scripts or I've installed this or that. And when that migration happens, which means you went from 19 to 20, even though you can overwrite, there's underlying risk. So if you want to do 20, start with a fresh 20 on its own there. Have 19 be its one thing, 20 be its own thing. And I mean, that's my opinion to folks and my advice to people that want to
Good
try.
advice.
You're absolutely right.
I mean, the bottom line is if you like using Cody and you love watching stuff and it works, don't touch it. Plain and simple. And a lot of people have this thing that they got to keep playing with things. It works, but it's got to work better.
Yeah, I need 20 because 20 works 10 seconds faster to see a 3-hour movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, people, no matter which freaking version you choose, the movie and TV shows will end the same.
That's right.
Titanic sinks.
Yeah.
You're right. It's all right.
I
So
heard something about Cameron doing something to solve the door debate or something. There's something about I guess on the internet where, Jack would have survived if he would have been on the door.
Oh,
James Cameron said he's sick of hearing it, so he's going to do some kind of experiment or something.
well, that would be. Well, I don't know. To that movie, why did he have to drown while she held on the board? It looked like the board was floating both of them to me. But
that's what he's trying to solve. 20 years of debate, he said.
Let's see. So Gutstreet says WMC Cody 19 fork in the Play Store. That's what I use in the Shield. All right. So one of the things about when you have some of these forks in the Play Shield, you have to be careful because sometimes they'll get removed from the Play Store pretty quickly. So if you're on our Telegram groups, all those links are down below, folks. You can find these ways of sideloading and you'll save yourself so much headache.
Yeah.
In chasing the bloggers and the tweeters, when you're chasing whatever's the newest thing, you're putting yourself out there for running into problem. I actually went to a friend's house the other day, and they were still running an old build that I made on like 19.0, and it was a build I haven't messed with in forever. I mean, I made it, and then I kind of got bored with that skin. They were still running it, and they're like, "Oh, it works just fine for me, and I can find what I'm looking for." And it's like, okay. And that's the thing. A lot of times people think I got to move to the newest. I will say, if you're on 17 or 18, you'll find your resources or options starting to shrink because most people had to move to 19, which has a little bit of a different coding.
I mean, a lot of the people do still have the add-ons for 18.
Mhm.
They will install, they will work, but they are not being maintained. So, because no one wants to do one for 18 and 19.
No. If you're well, there's a few people that I don't know about. C-Man, do you do any for? You still do 18s, or are you done with 18?
No, we don't support 18.
My both of my add-ons actually run from 17 to 20, so no issues whatsoever.
Yeah, and Mark's got a shit ton of things he got going up with builds. He's got, if you want to check out some of his stuff, at the Grindhouse, he's got a ton of builds, and some of them
I
are
got
quite
I
entertaining. Yep.
I pulled my 18 wizard, but I kept all the files on my server, and
Same
people
here.
still download them. People still download them.
Yeah. Well, it's because they've installed it and they think, oh, that's. Most people are not like us. Most people are not serious hobbyers that are they all they care is they bought, like, a lot of times people buy shit off of Marketplace or eBay or Amazon or through AliExpress. They bought
Jailbroken,
it.
fully loaded.
Yeah, and
Preloaded shit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's all they know because it works. But if you want your stuff to work correctly, you gotta put a little effort in. You're either gonna spend money or you're gonna spend effort. And there's people in your town that will charge you whatever to come fix or to upgrade or to do whatever. So you're either going to pay them to do whatever they're going to do, which maybe they do it right or maybe they don't, or you're going to spend a little time to learn to keep your stuff maintained. Most of the people that watch this show are that hobbyist that's on that second one, that one that stays knowledgeable or understands why things happen so they keep their shit working right. So yeah, it's a hot mess. And there's some add-ons that are not working right now, and I'm not going to point at this add-on or that add-on, because some add-ons have to make some code changes to be compatible with 20. And it's nothing to their fault. It's just some upgrades. My repository doesn't work, and I'll be the first. My repository doesn't work because I haven't went through and changed the add-on XML. I need to make some edits to it. So when you open up Cody 20, guess what? My repository shows up as not available because I used the repository generator, which, Mark, don't laugh at me. I used it. I used the generator and created my repo, and it doesn't work. So I have to make some edits. Hopefully this weekend get that straight. So because of all these changes, we have to make these things go right.
I've already actually fixed a bunch of repos for people, and I've had to redo people's servers. Because I'll tell you, end users out there, you'd be surprised at how many people have add-ons that you know and love, but they don't know too much, because the templates for add-ons are really easy to make. So they don't get much knowledge.
Yeah, and that does happen. It is a lot of popular people.
When I started out, Mark, I needed loads of help from Mark, but I always did it manually.
Manual.
And I actually wanted to learn it. So there's nothing to a repo. It's just a few lines of code.
Yep. That's why I like teaching you, because you want to learn. Most people like, well, isn't there something that'll do it for me?
Yeah. Well, I'm guilty. I did it. I mean, because in now I pay the price because, but
Well,
I'll
Dabs,
edit it. I'll edit this weekend.
there's all you do is drop a certain template file in your repo generator, and it'll work for 20.
Oh, all right.
I'll
I think
send it
I
to you later.
all right. Send it to me because I knew that this was coming, but I had just I screwed around with 20. What 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? It wasn't long ago. It was when they were into the later release candidates, and I was like, I'll mess with it. And I messed with it on my computer a couple times. I'm like, I ain't got time for this. It's just stupid. But again, it's a lot of times small issues can create things not to work. There is a handful of add-ons that are not working right now, but most of them are trying to sort out what needs to be fixed. And it will. It's because it's so new. And give it, I say, give it a couple weeks.
Then most of the add-ons, if you look at your log in 19, and all the warnings that were warnings on 19, they now have become errors on 20.
Oh, the ones where the repository. I know exactly what you're talking about. We're
No,
talking about the ROG.
not the
It says insecure.
HTTPS, but the translance part and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
They changed some naming schemes.
Okay. And I've seen that when I've looked through logs of even on my own logs, looking through it and saw those. And so, yeah, I see what you're saying. So in the past, they were warnings in the logs, but it still worked. You know, the end user didn't have any idea. But now those changes have become permanent, or so those errors now become, or those warnings now are an error. So that makes sense.
Yeah. They're small fixes. Basically, I think it's XBMC to XBMC FSC or something. I don't remember on top of my head. That's everything that.
Yeah, I remember seeing it because you would see the log, and again, most people don't look at them. You'd see all those errors, but it would still work. So yeah, all right. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I'll ask a question of the panel. So which version of the K app are you using as your daily driver? Mark, what's your
I still use 19.0. I make all my builds on it. I do everything on it. Testing, everything. Because
I'm using 19.4.
I'm 19.2, I think. The fork I use the most.
So, and most of the time, and all right, so this is one of Mark's pet peeves, is when people, builders do a thing and it says, this is 19.4, or this is ready for 19.3. A build does not matter which all right, so when you're on 19, if you're on 18, that's different. But when you're on 19, I don't care if you're on 19.0 or 19.5, your build will work. Whichever version of Cody that you're using, 19.0 to 19.5, your build will, if it's 19, it will work on that thing. But a lot of times people think they'll release an update and say, well, this is working on 19.4 because the Google Play Store just pushed to 19.4.
And it works so much smoother.
Yeah.
That's just a freaking ego thing is all it is. Like, hey, look what I did for you guys.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. In reality, people, they didn't do anything. They just tweeted, hey, I updated this for this version.
Yeah. And again, maybe they put it on their device. Maybe they put it on their computer and they did it was 19 point whatever. And they did. But it doesn't make a difference to the version on your device. Your version has a Cody, and it does now. If you're on 19.4, or 19.0, Mark's on 19.0. There may be some bug fixes that were done in the later versions that he wouldn't have, that he's not having because he's on that version of the operating system. But for a build, doesn't matter. The build,
because build files and Cody files are separate.
Separate. You're
When we zip up a build, you're not getting any of our actual Cody files.
Nope.
And I've did a video years ago on making a portable. So I showed at one point, I remember on my computer, I had 15 different versions of portables because I was doing different builds and trying different things. This one's 17, this is 18, and those versions, whatever build I was doing didn't matter. You know, when you zip it up as a builder, you're zipping up the add-ons and the user data folder. Those are what you're zipping, not the actual true Cody folder.
Exactly.
Um,
My favorite is when they fix well, kind of the touchscreen, but a builder puts out a build and says, now your touchscreen will work. No, they may not have that version.
yeah, a good point, because C-Man's saying, so let's say I'm on 19.0, my touchscreen version's not working, but a builder releases it. That's not going to fix the version I'm running because my OS is not the one that's fixed. 19.4 or whatever fixed it. This is a good question. We get this a lot. Dolby Vision work on Cody 20. What do you guys think on that?
No.
They're gonna backport it though, I think.
They're supposed to, yes.
Yeah, I think they implemented it some versions of DV in 21.
Okay,
I
so
saw a convo
explain that.
between two guys who should know. And they may be going to backport it in a later version of 20, but that was not certain. There's a comment made, I think, but I don't understand. Those were guys that know a lot more about actual Cody than me, so that was what
Dolby
I got
Vision
from it.
is like a patented thing, and they actually sell their technology. And Cody is a free application, so that's why they gotta. I seriously doubt they're gonna pay to implement it in Cody, but there's some back end ways they can get it in there and working.
Yeah, I think they made it for a few containers, but I'm not sure. That's above my pay grade.
Builds out there from people called Cody Nerds. They have like a German website and all that good stuff that people don't even understand. But we send them there, and you can run. I think I can't remember. It's MKVs or
Marvin.
MP4s. One of them. It'll run the Dolby Vision in a certain container.
Yeah, but don't they just use an external player?
I believe so.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So for folks that are like thinking, all right, these guys are talking above my head. So Dolby Vision is it's a video mode or a process. It's a codec of and it's supposed to be a higher 4K version in Dolby Vision. Cody says we're not paying for that. As Mark says, you have to pay for the licensing to use Dolby Vision. Cody says we're not paying for that because it's an astronomical amount. So what's happened is that some third-party people have created some workarounds, and so you can install certain things on your device and then install Cody, and it can play those Dolby Visions. I tried it. The size of the Cody install was like twice or more than the normal installation of 19. And I had all kinds of issues when I ran it. I had problems crashing. Now I installed my build on top of that and tried to run it just as a test, and problem after problem after problem. But there are people there is ways around it, but it's a software thing. And at the moment, Cody is not talking about paying that software fee to license it. So you can do it, but you kind of have to do it as Funster said. You kind of got to do it it's a backdoor container. It installs something running something different.
Yep, going through the back door.
All of a sudden he perked up. Look at that.
Yeah, look at Mark.
He got perked up. The
way I see it is if they implement it in Cody, I'm assuming they'd have to pay for each instance as far as downloads.
or a group licensing, which I
Yeah,
think was when I read it, it was like hundreds or millions of dollars that they would have to pay for that licensing. They posted it was on the forums, and they
yeah.
said that this was a couple years ago. They said, or a year ago, they said we have no interest in paying that licensing because they're a nonprofit, so they didn't want to do it. So all right, so so we've got a few things here on 20, and we'll move on to some other topics. So 20, my suggestion, and I'll run through people and things. Stick to 19 if you're on 19, and as Mark says, if things are working with what you're working with, don't mess with it. If you want to mess around and you want to install 20, install it as a fork. There's plenty. Well, I don't say plenty. There are forks out there available, and you can find a fork of 20. Install that as a side thing. Test it. Mess around with it. Install your setup and see if it works. Some people love it. There are people that have had no issues. I have it as a separate installation. I will say it closes quicker, and for whatever reason, the same build. My build that's on 19 and my build that's on 20. 20 does close faster.
It
And
exits.
It closes mid movie also.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
So yeah, that could be a problem. I will say one of the things that somebody posted, and Tan gives, I'm giving love to Tan because there's one feature that 20 has fixed, and that's the voice remote again that disappeared in 19. None of us got voice remote where it would like autofill, like when you do a movie search. It was broke in 19. Now you can go through and do
Keep the people
the
coming.
search, and you hold the button and you say the movie that you're looking for, it autofills the search. That does work. I don't know if you've either you two tried that, or because it does work on my Shield.
Google doesn't understand my English, so
Yeah, you do have to speak. Look at Cosmic's in the house. Hey, Cosmix, if he wants to join the show, he's more than welcome to send me a message, and I will send him a link. A long time gift. Ellie, thank you for joining the show. Nice to see her. Nice
Hi,
to see you.
Ellie.
Yeah, nice to see everybody. Roger B, what's up? So got lots of people jumping in here, and again, it's there's pros and cons. Oh, it's a baby's asleep too. So Funster B, if anybody, you guys haven't been in the chat. I know C-Man's been in the chat before when Funster's been in. We've been in live chats and the dogs are sleeping and it's snoring. They are loud. Those dogs they need a CPAP. They need one of those little CPAP machines. So, all right, let's go. We'll jump over to another topic. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this. Let's see if this popped up. Amazon has released a new thing about that they're going to. It kind of goes back to Android. They're going to block applications accessing other applications. And you remember with what was it, Android 11 that did that? It was a safety feature so that one application couldn't hijack another application. Amazon is going to block applications reaching out to other applications. And some people think, well, that doesn't really matter to me. Well, for us that are Plex users, this is a problem because when
Some
Plex,
Plex users.
yeah, well, some. I mean, we do have a few of the applications, so I did find this very helpful. If you use Discovery and you use Plex, if you did a search for, let's see, right here on their website, shows on here at Little Sunshine, it would show you a couple different things. It would show you what subscription-based applications had the content that you're looking for, and you could access it. So let's say you had an Amazon Prime account, and Little Miss Sunshine is on your Amazon Prime, and you want to watch it via that because you don't want to watch it through Plex. You could click it, and it would launch Amazon Prime and would launch this particular movie. I felt like that was a game changer because Plex became your hub. Plex became your all-in-one Grand Central Station. It could launch just the Plex servers that you're on, or direct you to the services that you pay for or you want to sign up for. So it was great for that, and kept track of what you've watched somewhat. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but it would keep track of a lot of different things for you. So it was, instead of you trying to remember, is that on Amazon? Is that on Discovery or Disney? Or is that on Netflix? You could go right to here and it would show you, where's that at? Amazon with the Fire TVs now will disable this feature. They will not let you be in Plex and launch the Amazon Prime or the Disney or the Netflix. Because it's most likely it's a security issue that they see. But I think that they're trying to go after the competition, because Plex is exploding with people using more and more Plex every day. And if you get familiar with Plex, this is a really good all-in-one application. So did you guys see anything about that Amazon was doing this?
Yeah, people were asking me about it, like, "Oh my God, what does this mean for me?" And it's like nothing. If you don't pay for services, you don't have to worry. I mean, it's
They
basically what it is they want, Discovery and all of them, they want you to use their service, not go through someone else, because they have ads on their website they want you to see. They have stuff in their applications they want you to see. They don't want anyone cutting out that business from them, is what it is. It's like I had someone ask me earlier, it's like, "Oh my God, do you know that they took Tubi out of the Cody repo last year?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, how do we get it in Cody?" I'm like, the thing is, a lot of people, like Dab said, they're not too technologically smart, and a lot of these free things that give you TV and all that, they're on every device you own. I just don't get why everyone wants everything in Cody, and that's kind of like what Plex is doing. They want to be your all-in-one.
Well, yes, they're trying to bring more people. I mean,
Yeah,
more
their
people that they got ads. I mean,
yeah, their business model is not making them enough money, and that's the way the world revolves now. So, got to try and give you more, more, more.
C-Man, have you ever now C-Man? Do you use Plex, or have you used any of these features in Plex?
I use Narcissist Plex, so I don't mess with it myself.
Yeah.
I just watch.
And that's this picture. I mean, we've used this, and this was part of the Discovery and the Discovery feature when Plex released the Discovery feature. You could add your subscription base, and again, these are subscriptions that were already on your device. Your Amazon was already set up on your device. Your Netflix was set up on your device. Your Disney set up. So when I was searching for a movie, it would say, do you want to watch that through one of your paid subscriptions, or do you want to watch that via a server that you have access to? And so to me, it was it's that portal. Plex wants to be that portal because, again, I'm getting ready to talk about, there's a couple big news that came up with Plex. This is a winning business model for them right now, because these folks are taking off. And for any of us that see, Alban's not here, and I've been drinking beer, and I'm going to keep drinking more. So we're supposed to drink a beer every time you say the word Plex. You're supposed to have a drink. So this is a really cool feature if you use it. Even if, again, for let's say that we're not part of our circle, we're part of the mainstream people that have all these subscriptions. Plex can be that hub, or if you don't have a Fire Stick now, but it used to be before you had with your Fire Stick, even prior, you used to be able to, again, if I wanted to watch Little Miss Sunshine, it would say, hey, these are the places you can watch this movie. You have a subscription to Amazon, or you got a subscription to Netflix. And if you didn't, as you see, Tubi is again free, so it would show you that. But if you didn't have Apple TV, it would say rent or buy, and you would prompt you to signing up for it. So you actually sign up for them. But when you finish the movie, guess what application you're in? Right back to Plex.
And that's funny because you would think that they're going to get more people to sign up for these services. So these companies would like that.
But I think Amazon doesn't want it. I think Amazon wants to be, because Amazon's selling ads on, of course, they sell ad space on their applications. But I think Amazon doesn't want that competition of Plex being that portal, that Grand Central Station to take you to all the things. They want to be that because
Well, that's
that
the kind
locks
of
you into it.
climate we're in right now. Is all these tech companies are losing tons of money, so they're looking for any way they can to get money back.
Well, it was gravy days for years, right? When everyone was
Yep.
cutting the cord, and we saw when Netflix. Well, Netflix was just out of the roof. It didn't matter what Netflix did. Oh, they make a ton of money, and its stock went up. But then we got to a point where people signing up slowed down and became stagnant because you had too many options. Now, what Plex is doing is saying, you know what? We're not going to try to sell you to a bunch of options, but what we'll do is we'll be your portal to those options. And so if you're on the Shields, you're fine. But if you're on a Fire TV, you will find this feature. I don't know if it's been turned off yet. I know that it said that it was going to be turned off.
Well, for people that don't know Plex, also their hope is you sign up for something called a Plex Pass.
Already got it.
Yeah, well, I do too.
Yeah.
But that's what makes them money.
Yeah.
You know, depending on how much you spend, like you get it for $80 on a sale or $120 normally, I believe it is.
Yep,
But
yep.
that's also the end goal of theirs for them offering everything. Like, oh, this is giving me everything, so let me give them my $120.
Yeah. And for me, I've had Plex for I don't know, 15 years. If I'm guessing, 15 plus years I've had Plex Pass. So I got it back when it was like not on sale, $70 or $75, not on sale. But if you have Plex Pass, you also get Plex Amp, or not Plex Amp, the music one. Hold on a second, I got it right
I
here.
installed
Plex
it.
Amp.
Yeah.
I like Plex Amp. Plex Amp, and you also get the Android version of Plex for your mobile phones, which is actually a paid version. So you get that for free if you pay.
Yeah,
for
because if you're
Plex
using
Pass.
Plex as a free user, you have to pay for every extra device like Android and stuff,
yeah,
iPhone.
So yeah, with Amazon, just if you're having a Fire TV, you may run into some problem. I was going to mention a couple. We mentioned Plex. Hold on, I got to reach down here and get my another beer. All right, so Plex server, more streaming users than media server users. And so what this means is that there are more people using Plex than people that have media servers or using media servers. So
I assume what they mean is more people are streaming from the services than us people that actually just run servers.
And the other thing that they're doing is they've got, because it said here 16 million monthly users or active users. More and more people are using their free stuff because, Mark, there's free movies and free TV shows that are available in Plex.
Yep.
They're ad-based or ad-supported. It's because Plex is wanting to be that Tubi or some of those applications.
Well, I mean, YouTube has the same thing. A lot of people don't realize they ask for all these TV shows and movies, and you can go to YouTube and get them. Just watch a couple second ad, or have a bunch of ad blockers like I do.
Yeah, that information's free
or
on this
watch my
show.
video on how to grab them yourself, and you'll be set. I think they removed my how to steal YouTube stuff from YouTube.
Yeah, I bet you.
didn't
YouTube.
like
Well,
it.
we all know that YouTube is tough on this stuff, so we're lucky my show even still airs.
It may not be after tonight.
Well, you know what? But
if you just install Plex,
Yep.
they'll give you even for holidays, they'll give you holiday picks for
Mhm.
free movies and TV shows and stuff. So
Plex
it's appealing to a lot of people.
Plex has a large movie and TV library that's free. You can install it and watch that stuff for free. And that's what this article was talking about, is that more and more people are installing Plex and watching it for free. They're watching the free content because there's ads stuck in it. And this is a side note. So, all right, we know, you know me. I've got knowledge on how to get things, how to watch things. Blue got tons of fucking knowledge on how to do this stuff. Just last week, we're in bed. She's watching TV. Got the TV running. I get in bed, and I'm ready to go to sleep. And all of a sudden, she's watching a movie, and I hear an ad. And I looked at her and I said, "What's this?" She goes, "Oh, it's an ad." I said, "Why are we watching an ad?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm watching this off of Plex for free, so we get an ad." And I said, "Do you understand who we are?" And we're watching an ad. And she goes, "I just turned this on because I didn't care, because she likes just a movie to play in the background when she goes to sleep." I said, "Do you understand what this is?" I said, "If people find out about this, do you know our reputation would be ruined?" And we just laughed, and but it's ad based. That is how they make their funding. That's how they can get licensing to show these TV shows and movies. For us, probably on the panel, when you see an ad, it's like, ugh, it's like your skin kind of crawls a little bit. But for most people, it's not a problem. It's like, yeah, I can watch that little ad.
That's why people love their IPTV. They miss their commercials.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Commercial doesn't even go to that one. All right. So the other thing here again on the Plex news. Hold on a second. I keep drinking my fucking beer. So Plex years with billions of minutes watched doubles their viewership. And this just plays right into, over the last year, the things that Plex has done. They have just reached new ground of and being that mainstream, completely legal. They're not doing everything completely above the board, no gray areas in what their business model is, and they're making tons of new users and growing fast.
I mean, I guess you can compare their free stuff to like something like Tubi or Crackle or something. You're not going to find the newest releases or anything like that.
Shit, what's that other one? There's two other ones that are Tubi. What's the other one that we see on all the there's that other that free service that has all those movies, because it has Mystery Science Theater 3000 channel.
Samsung. I have Samsung TV on my TV.
Yeah, but it's using the Samsung
Pluto.
Yeah. There you go. It's a lot of them are piggybacking on like the Pluto platform, which is a completely free application. It has ads and they have their own channels. And I've actually turned some family members on to Pluto, and they're like, "I love that channel. It's got everything I need." And
I mean, like I said earlier, if you have a newer TV, all these TVs have those pretty much pre-installed.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have to rely on just one source. Just fire up. I didn't even know what my TV had. Someone asked about it, so I just popped up a menu really quick, and boom, there's Tubi, there's Crackle, there's Pluto, there's all of them.
My TV is full of those apps, but they're all geo-locked, so I can't use them.
Oh yeah, yours is.
I bought an LG, and like, oh, here's LG channels, and like, it's like, who would watch this stuff?
Well,
they got a Hyundai channel. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to watch Hyundai ads constantly.
Well, and I got an LG TV, and that LG is nothing but it's a rebrand of Pluto to me. It's
pretty much
it's all it is Pluto, and I'm like, this is Pluto, because especially Mystery Science Theater 3000, which I love the show. That channel, you can watch that channel all the time. So now that we mentioned about TVs and being preloaded, I think this is a great segue into Sony's new tech is going to block side-loading piracy applications, and Android TVs. So they're going to create a blacklist, probably very similar to what ISPs already have, what your Windows Defender already has, what other things already have these lists of certain things you cannot install. So if you have a Sony TV and you think hey, I'm going to install XYZ, I'm going to install these sideloading, you may want to pay attention because it's not long before Sony is going to block certain applications. That
No, ain't gonna happen. They're talking about this for 10 years.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
Sony
if it
filed a
does happen,
patent.
Someone will get around it.
Sony filed a patent, which again was a little bit different. They've kind of upped it. To me, there's been talk about it, but I think that they're moving closer to it. I think it's going to happen. My opinion, we already see ISPs are blocking all kinds of shit.
Yeah, but the thing is, between ISPs, most people can't choose. There are lots of TVs out there.
Yeah.
So the next generation is going to have it turned off again.
Yeah. Well, you may. I don't know. I'm not a Sony guy, so it doesn't bother me. But if one company
Worst
does
case
it,
scenario, it spreads to all companies.
And again, it could happen.
Then you just buy a Shield and an old CTR.
Or well, all right. So when we say that, hold on a second. Who we got here? Aubin. All right. So Aubin's getting his device set up. Wait, hold on, my brother, man.
I mean, they can block it on our TVs, but you can just use a box or something and just
if you're using a Shield, it doesn't matter if Sony blocks sideloading. If you're running a Shield, this does not impact you.
Maybe with a Sony because they use Android TV.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
So maybe
but we're saying
still
a device like we all use that would go right through it.
Right. If you just use any
like a PC probably would. But I can see it blocking the Shield if it blocks something in Android. And Sony's are full Android TVs, I think.
Well, but you'd still be running it off that HDMI that's coming off the Shield. The Shield's doing all the work unless NVIDIA blocked it. They would have to block it also. Hey, Aubin, thank you for joining, bud. Yes.
Whoa.
My man's back home.
I heard all of this Plex stuff. You know, I've been watching the show on my phone, and I think I'm trying to hurry up and get home. Because I'm glad I didn't have to talk about the K app because that's what put me in the hospital. So that's all I'll say about that. Okay, so you guys can go screw yourself with the K app. Okay, I'm done. I started and I'm done. Okay,
so
I need some time before I get back to that.
2 weeks ago, you and I were talking about Cody 20, and you said, you know what? Maybe I'll try Cody 20. I'm gonna, it's at 20. It's time for me to give it a try. I might give it a try. And then you got to the hospital. You said, you know why I'm in the hospital? I said, why? He says, because I talked about installing Cody. I should have never even said that. He said, my Plex has done jinxed me because we know how much of an addict we know how much of an addict Mr. Aubin is with his Plex. So, yeah. Well, hey, you got time to get sorted out because the K app is not ready for you yet.
Well, I got to say, I might have a huge collection, but I'm not as bad as Aubin or Dave. Between you and Dave, some of the things you guys do are like...
No, you're pretty bad. No, let's not go there, Mark. You're pretty bad.
It's like Beach was telling me how he goes and re-encodes things a couple of times just to get subs in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. He's nuts. He's nuts when it comes to that. I can't do that. I can't even think about doing what he does.
Yeah. But you are a data hoarder. You are a data hoarder, though.
Yeah.
I just hit 27,000 movies.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with data hoarding. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
When the internet dies, he's okay.
I just want to thank everyone out there on this side. Yeah, I'll be fine. I will be fine.
He lives another day.
I'm ready. I just want to thank everyone out there on this side. I want to thank everyone out there on the side for all your well wishes and everything, and it's good to see you in here, Mark, Funst and C-Man, Funst, I miss you too. I miss you, dogs. I was
Good to
happy
see
to
you,
see
brother.
them. Yeah, man. And C-Man, good to see you. Good to hear you.
Likewise, my man. Likewise.
Yeah.
The terabyte king.
Yeah, I got a freaking
I'm
20
trying.
terabyte sitting on my desk.
Yeah, right. I'm working for that Echo one day, real soon. But now they're starting to talk a lot of tape storage.
Jeez.
All right, so hey, while we're mentioning, we're talking about terabytes and stuff. I just thought I would share Western Digital's 14 terabyte just dropped to $200 for the hard drive. And so if you're looking for some type of an optional hard drive, I don't have. I wait. I need to get better at this to have those hyperlinks to make myself some cash on this. But there's a 200 drive, 200 bucks will get you a 14 terabyte external drive. So if you're a person that's looking for that, this is the lowest price this has been in what, 2 years? 2.5 years?
Yeah, they're normally around 250.
Yeah, because this says 295. I know I paid for my 14 terabyte. I think I paid right close to this, and this was pre-COVID when I bought mine, and they've been nowhere near this price.
When I saw that, I was like, is Western Digital going to pay me if I can fill it, because I can fill quite a few of those. Or,
The problem I'm having now is I'm on drive letters in Windows.
I know. I'm gonna run out. And that's I try not to think about it.
Well, I mean, all you do really is you just remove the drive letter and mount it as a folder.
Yeah, mount it, right. But I have to move all those files. That's what I'm worried about.
The only thing that I have, like, one 4 terabyte drive I need to get rid of. But all it's got on it is my Plex data. And the problem with that is to move it to a new drive would take 2 days. And I have to turn Plex off, and all these
and then you hear the
people would be messaging me.
So, well, for you normal users, not the power users on this fucking panel, this 14 terabyte you'll never fill the damn thing up. You will never fill up 14 terabytes for a normal user.
That is pretty low for 14 terabytes, considering
14 terabytes. I actually have this. I don't know if it's this exact model, but I bought my 14 terabyte, and I use it as my Plex drive. I download to it. It's great for 14 terabytes. You can have a lot of content on there, and plug it into a PC. You could plug this into a Shield, and put get your content, put it on the external drive, plug it into your Shield, and do it that way. I use it on my PC. I use it as my Plex drive.
You
Works
can even
really
do
well. $200
on a Fire Stick.
You can. Not the easiest thing. You do have to get an OTG cable. For folks that you have to get an OTG cable if you're on a Fire Stick, or I should say even maybe the Cube. I'm not sure if it had external, but you can get an OTG cable and put external drive. Not the easiest step. It's not advanced, but you need to be one step above newbie. You got to be a step or two above newbie to be able to hook up an external hard drive to your Fire Stick. But it can be done. I have one upstairs actually. I have a USB drive. I have a 256 or 512 gigabyte drive hooked to the Shield, which is recording TV shows onto that, and I'm using it as my DVR upstairs. So it can be done. Not the easiest thing, but easily, if you do some YouTube searching or hit me up on Telegram, I can give you some advice on that. But yeah, that's a great price that's the lowest price at least 2 years. I don't know if this article said how long, but I know this is pre-COVID. This is pre-COVID dead price.
I have 2 movies collected. That's everything.
I'm with
Hey,
you, Punster. I don't have any either.
The K app has all them shit. You ain't got to store nothing, but some people would prefer to have it in house.
No,
most of my stuff
doesn't
is
always
on the
have
file.
everything. Not everything is on the K app. There's stuff that I have that was on DVD that you can never find on the K app.
Old crap. All right, so if you're anybody under the age of 40, you ain't got to worry about that. If you're over 40, then you got to worry about it.
Well, even some of the newer stuff.
Yeah. There are things that are out there that were put on DVD that you just can't find.
Well, the thing is, even with the newer stuff like Discovery Channel, all those other places, I don't know what it is. It's just the internet is filled with morons as usual.
Always.
Like some of the things like Discovery Channel, they had that was like Grease Monkey Garage.
Yeah.
A lot of people had trouble playing that in Cody. And like, why can't I do this? You go online and you look at 4 different freaking meta sites, and they all had different episodes. The seasons were different. So, and Cody relies on certain websites only.
Yes.
And my go-to is IMDb because they're like the closest thing. Because a lot of people don't realize with TMDB and TV database and all them, it's end
go there
users
with them right now. Right. I don't even want to go there with them.
Because I can go on. I have an account there on TV database. I can go in there and just piss people off and put in any kind of description I want and any kind of picture I want.
Yeah.
And they'll accept it.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff, like Auburn's probably experienced it like I have. When you're trying to match stuff in Plex, it's matching up to what people think it is, not what it actually is.
Right.
So Cody's not going to pick up a lot of that stuff.
Right.
So for the end users that may not know what we're talking about, so if you download content and then you drop it into Plex, so Plex takes a look at the name that is in the name of the file, and usually in the name of the file, if let's say it's a TV show, because that's always where problems usually run into. So it's the name of the TV show, then it's going to be the season, then it's going to be the episode, and then we're release group or whatever. So what happens is Plex is looking at that name of the show and that season and episode. Problems come in when people add extra zeros or people put in, like sometimes some seasons are weird. It's like not the end of a season. It's like half of a season and then the other half of the season.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead, another example where they do half a season and they wait and then another half a season. So sometimes when Plex is saying, I'm matching A with A, this is the content and this is the name of the show, boom, they work together. Plex sometimes gets confused when people name something incorrectly or they don't name it when it gets on the cloud and when other people download it. So there is the issue with that. And you've actually seen that with Cody sometimes if they're watching something and you're like, this ain't the right movie or the right episode, especially. Movies tend to be pretty consistent. TV shows is where the naming of the episodes is
well, like another one would be Dexter. Like Dexter ended how many years ago, and then they brought out the new one. A lot of people, some people said, "Oh no, this is season 7 or whatever they were on." Some people said, "No, this is a new show."
Season 1.
Yeah, season 1 of the new.
And I hate when they do that because because they don't go back and rename the old one, like would be Dexter 98 compared to Dexter 2021 or whatever,
Yeah, and that throws off a lot of things in Cody because Cody add-ons, it's not people doing the content that you're getting from your add-ons. what it is they're scraping from websites and then they're using metadata from either TV database or Tract or whoever. I'm not sure how Tract does it, but TV database, they rely on the end users to submit changes and all that stuff like that. Some people don't check it because, humans.
I have a show like that. It's a cartoon show. Now it's episode 11 of the first season, but it's always it shows up in Tract as season 2, episode 1. And then,
Yeah, cartoons are really bad. Like really old
Yeah.
cartoons too,
Really
are
old ones, yeah.
super bad
yeah,
because old cartoons back in our day, most of those
Uh-huh.
on the panel, they would have 2 or 3 different
Speak
little
to
short
yourself. I'm not
episodes.
that old.
You're older than
Yeah,
me.
right, Dad. Yeah, sure. It was
But
funny.
they would have
as
2 or
you- as
3
you-
short episodes, and TV database, the people that edit it say, oh no, each little short episode is a separate episode. So if there's only 13 episodes in the actual season when it aired 20, 30 years ago, they'll stretch it to 60 something
Yeah.
episodes. And it just throws everything off.
Those I Am Groot things were also like that, short episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
They
And
don't,
they
it's
were
like they don't
Even
know
you
what to do
take
with
something
those.
as simple as
Yeah.
Super Friends. They were like had one set that were, because they like mixed it between Super Friends and Richie Rich or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's the way we watched them when we were kids, and
With our
then
bowls of
someone
cereal.
takes it and they mix it up right. They would mix it all up. But it was funny because I was saying that I saw you guys were talking about Captain Caveman. I was like, oh wow, yeah, I remember that. I gotta have that. So of course I had to grab it, but not those weren't listed properly because you had the regular Captain Caveman series, and then there was a second one, and that was listed improperly. And it's
That
funny.
would
I
be
saw
Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels in Space.
right. That was some good stuff.
Yes.
Hey,
That was
I've
some
got
good
I've got
stuff
a all
growing
right.
up.
So someone just mentioned Seth and actually the prices went up on this, Alvin. So while you're
Oh,
in the
did it?
hospital, you fucking missed it. The prices went up. I just looked on Best Buy.
But I looked at it
it
while I was in the hospital.
it's back up
I'm
to
sorry.
$239. So
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, like
I'm
this
sorry,
happens.
guys.
It's
Yeah, it
usually only
happens.
good
Yeah.
for a day or two.
Yeah, so it's back up to
Yeah.
$239, which is still cheaper than what.
You know what can help with that, with the pricing? If you go on your phone, you clean your cache of your browser, you go on mobile internet, and then you surf. A lot of web shops give lower prices for people who use their data instead of internet. There's like
That's weird.
they are more likely to buy something, or they're more critical. There's studies been done with that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because this was this was published 2 days ago. So it doesn't. Well, it don't take long with these kind of prices. If you're a person that's in the look, if you're looking for
Bait and switch.
hard drive, you got to be quick. You don't fucking drag your ass. Look at these are pre-hospital prices, brother.
Yeah.
So
another quick one here.
Yep.
Beach is talking about here with this one here that I had a problem with the show The Shield and the show Agents of Shield. That was another mix-up that was it drove us crazy, and it took us over an hour to figure it out and fix it. But it was you have a show that's sitting there, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Have you had that problem, Mark?
Yeah. I know because Plex loves updating their metadata. You just hover over a movie and it seems like, oh, updating metadata. It's like, no, I set it up the way I want it. Stop updating.
Right.
Yeah, I do. But I do notice that what I've started doing is just putting the year in the parentheses on the side. That usually solves it.
That's the right way to do it. Yeah.
But it's like,
That's the
hey,
right
you've
way to do it.
been on there for years. How come all of a sudden you decide, you know what? You don't have that show.
All right. Hey, we got another topic
I
here,
know.
boys. Netflix, because we got to talk about Netflix every fucking
Oh,
show.
gee, this again?
Well, so this is new.
Hey, but hold on. What
What?
was that not right about my man? Reed Hastings. He's he disagrees so much about whole going with ads that he stepped back. Did you see
He's
that?
stepping down. Yeah, he's stepping down. That's the what's the CEO of?
Yep.
When is the CEO of Netflix?
He's the CEO. He's the co-CEO.
He's stepping down. Maybe
was,
it's in the second. Maybe it's in
he was
this
a
one.
true
He
OG.
talks about. Yeah, he's talking about
Yeah.
stepping down. So
Yeah, he's a true OG. He really is.
So Netflix. So we've talked about this for a fucking year now about the password sharing. Now the discussion is towards March, the end of March. For some countries, this will be rolled out in countries. So depending on what country you're on, that's when it's going to roll out. So they will roll out a tiered offering. So if you're sharing your passwords with your friends and family, you may see that happen whenever your country is added to the list of countries that are being blocked on this. So the earliest date would be the end of March, I think I read on this. But it will happen moving forward. It will happen, and but it may not necessarily happen to you right away. But depending on which country you're in, it will happen. But it will start in March. And this goes right to Netflix blows away expectations on subscriber numbers. Netflix has added a ton of subscribers now. This goes back to, I think it's a fucking knee-jerk reaction because we were in the pandemic, right? Everybody was sitting their ass at home, and here I am. I'm into my beers, so I'm starting to swear too much. All right, so
I haven't been swearing.
so yeah, I'll get you on that. I'll be okay. So so Netflix had record-breaking numbers when everyone was at home. Then when everybody had to go back to work, the numbers dropped and everybody had a crazy fit. Now all of a sudden the numbers start to come back. It's going to happen. So Netflix added 7.6 million paid subscribers during the fourth quarter of last year. They were only expecting 4.5. They got 7.6. So they got more subscribers, probably due to the news dropping that, we're going to force people to subscribe. If you like Netflix, you're going to have to pay for it. So maybe some people probably went ahead and said, hey, I missed it. Or there was Wednesday came out. There was a couple TV shows that people were really into. Wednesday, Harry and Meghan
came out.
Yeah, so there was a few things that maybe made people go ahead and sign up for. So
I think it was mostly the with the password sharing issue, and a lot of people who are starting to be like, oh, okay, I bought Disney, I bought this, and I bought this, and they're like, well, they just figured they just go with Netflix, especially now seeing that, oh well, they have the other option for the, for the
ad based.
The ad base, But I don't know how that ad base is going to work out for them.
Because you're limited to quantity or
right.
Certain
well, it says right
TV
there
shows.
that this is the first quarter they included the ad base tier.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be. I don't want to say trumped up numbers, but it could be things for people move towards it. But I don't know. I think that Netflix. I didn't see an end to Netflix. To me, they're the best bang for the buck. For what they offer and the content you get, I'm sorry, Netflix is the best. You're going to get the price you pay for the content you get if you're wanting to be a subscription-based person. You're not going to get any more content than Netflix.
They
I
need
just
to
see
make
that
Netflix
crazy
after
news.
dark.
Say what? What, Funster?
They need to make Netflix after dark.
Yeah.
After dark.
I agree with that
After
right
dark.
away.
Mark would be all over that.
Oh my gosh, he would sign up within
Yeah.
a day.
No,
Yeah.
I'd see what they offered and I'd find some place to steal it.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about news. They're saying, oh, they blew away their subscription numbers. But just last year, they were talking about how they lost like 4 million people over the past
Yep.
Right.
couple of years.
They did. They did.
So that's what tips me off that this is like kind of BS because I follow the stock market and this is like a stock website. So it's
Yeah.
just, they
And
call
when
it
the war
FUD.
is over, all the Russians can come back.
Yeah, it's all good. They're going back. Yeah, and again, I mean, it really felt like with the Netflix, you can't always be on the climb. There's always going to be a time where you peak or you drop down a little bit to gain back up. Netflix has more content than everybody else, but in the same aspects, Netflix was the sky was the limit. They had themselves overextended in a lot of ways, and they would pay for whatever, and they've had to do clean house and say, you know what, let's manage what we're doing here.
And it's like
So-
Amazon too. Didn't they pay like $1 billion to make that Lord of the Rings thing?
Oh yeah, they're paying for certain content. Yeah, some of those companies are paying fucking astronomical money. So
And
hey,
it doesn't
I-
work out because they take the gamble and it just doesn't work.
all right, Aubin.
Yeah.
You there? All right. So I'm gonna turn the show over for a
Yeah, I'm
minute
here.
because I go to the bathroom. But hey, this is right in your wheelhouse when we talk about some of the hackers. And oh no, wait. You know what? I'm gonna bring up the thing about oh wait, where's my tab for that? The hackers and all of the password shit.
Oh yeah.
Protect your neck.
Everything. It protect your neck, guys. So
Hold on a second.
many
Let me grab
of
that
these
link.
have been. Yeah, so many of them have been, hit. It's just insane.
It's like LastPass and all them.
LastPass. Who's the other one? The other one, well, even Google has been hit now. Guys, you
Yeah.
got to protect your neck. Get a hardware, based key to protect yourself, because these guys are just they're getting into everything. They're getting into
Yep.
everything. You
Well,
really got
I
to
think it's
protect yourself
because
now.
a lot of people nowadays, surprisingly, with where we are in technology, people
Mhm.
still don't know just to not click on stuff.
Right.
Like, oh, I've seen this,
Right.
so I got to click on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's because everybody now uses technology. If you use a phone that's smarter than yourself,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
everybody uses technology, and then like the government force you sometimes over here,
Mhm.
and then older people they just click, and it looks like the bank is sending an email, and they click it.
I
Mhm.
think it was T-Mobile reported they had
T-Mobile
like,
got hit. They got
it
hit.
was 67 million people.
Yep.
I mean,
This is bad.
it's not just end users, it's companies. They hire some
Mhm.
bad employees that don't check stuff,
That's
and
that,
what
that's why I'm
happens.
glad I don't have to work anymore and be in the middle of
Like,
that.
was
Because
it last? Was it last
they're
week?
going after the poor guys. Uh-huh.
I think it was last week that
Yeah,
all the airlines were shut down,
right.
or the week before, one of them. That was a simple case of someone that didn't know what he was doing deleted a file. It's like,
Mhm.
how can we live in this day and age and people don't know how to use technology? And they just click on anything
Well,
they
have
see.
you tried to deal with? Have you dealt with some of these younger kids out there today? They're so gullible as is.
Yes,
They just don't have a brain in their head. I
exactly.
came out of the hospital, and I'm still shaking my head from some of these younger doctors. I'm like, don't you have any common sense? For me to go to a doctor, don't you have any common sense? There's a problem. You know what I mean? It's just like, what are you thinking? I don't
Yep.
understand. and understanding
7-second attention span.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technology did that to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I see
like,
that every day. Yeah.
yeah, like, I mean, you can have these, was it keep pass or whatever it is, and
Last
pass, whatever.
Last pass. Because
Right.
that got hacked. I don't know if you
Yeah.
mentioned that. It got hit. That was
Yep.
one of
Because
those things.
they could say we store it on your computer, but they also store it other places.
They store it in the
It's
cloud.
like the
Right.
age-old debate about VPNs not logging you and all that stuff. There's always going to be logs to everything, no matter what they tell you.
Yep.
Like my work, they gave me a program to clock in, and it uses GPS. They're like, oh well, don't worry, we only clock you, or we only check your GPS like an hour or two before you work. But they don't understand that phones nowadays tell you when programs check. So at 1 in the morning, it's checking to see where I'm at. So it's like, quit lying to me. I mean, there's
Well, where
always
the
going to
hell
be
are you,
logs
Mark?
kept and all that. What was that?
So where the hell are you at 1 a.m.?
Oh, hey,
man.
I hit the wrong tab. Sorry about that, brother. I hit the wrong tab.
Okay.
There's the last pass.
The last pass.
Last pass
Yeah.
information. Again, you guys, if you're not sure about it, all these links are down in the description down below. Click the link, read the articles. And this was about the last pass, and here is the thing about Norton. Norton said that LifeLock. How many fucking commercials we are? LifeLock is fucking the breach password managers. It's like, oh,
Is
we're
that
here
the
to
one that gives you, or is that a separate company that gives you like $1 million guarantee?
Oh, I don't know if LifeLock does. I wouldn't doubt it.
It was it yeah, it was LifeLock.
It's LifeLock, but did Norton buy him or something?
Yeah. Norton bought LifeLock.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that $1 million thing still holds up.
That ain't gonna hold up. It's a different company. We haven't talked about that in years.
Yeah. We
Because
had
people only using 8 characters for a password, and hey, anything can blow through that in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Less than that even.
Yeah. So that's
hardware, guys. Get your own hardware. Store your own stuff. Okay.
protect your neck.
Protect your neck. I'll keep telling you guys because it's bad. It's bad out there. It really is. The things that they're trying.
So grandma's old way of writing this all down on a notepad might be the best way for you to protect yourself. Just write it down on a notepad.
But we have so many passwords, and then you have to keep changing them. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like say if you have something and you know that it got hacked, you have to go change it. And most people don't go back and say, okay, let me change this password and rewrite it in their book.
Right. Yeah. And again, numbers, characters.
I changed my password almost for certain sites. I change it almost every time I use them because I forget them. Then forgot your password. Yes, click.
I know, you and me both.
Yeah.
I always forget them.
I don't have that problem. I just knock on my desk and it tells me.
Yeah, see, Albans, he a high tech man. That man got it. He got it on.
Albans got it going on.
$200.
I don't mess around. I have so many passwords because you don't realize how many passwords that you actually have. Because every damn website you go to, every different banks, everything you're using has a password. Everything.
No, I use my my fingerprint for everything. I do everything on my phone. I got Twitter on my phone.
Yeah,
I can't log in anywhere else because I forgot and it won't let me reset my password.
Facial recognition.
Well, supposedly fingerprint and facial recognition is supposed to be
I hope you have more than one fingerprint on there. I hope
Hey.
you use more than one finger for your fingerprint.
I just
I
use
don't use that
admin
shit.
123.
Yeah.
Password 123. That's all I use. So if you're looking at me, you want to
password 123.
password 123. That's all there is. That's the only.
I'm
That's
an
that's your.
probably one of
I'm
the
an
best.
Apple person, so I use facial.
Fuck. Oh my gosh. All
I
right.
don't
So
like facial.
well, that's just because
But
you
can
don't
take
like
a
your face.
picture of you and use your picture.
Was pretty handy, the facial recognition with the COVID going on, like with the masks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're wearing a mask and you set yourself up.
Yeah.
I don't
All right.
wear a damn mask.
All right. So this is back to protect your neck type of category. Is hackers are pushing malware via Google search ads through VLC, 7-Zip, and CC Cleaner. So these are applications people are like, well, VLC is safe, 7-Zip, whatever. All these applications are safe. But what happens is that bogus zips or bogus installation applications are being put on different websites. So if you go to a unreliable or you just do the Google search, you want CC Cleaner, type it in, boom, here's a site. I'm gonna go there, click it. Oh, this software is safe. You go and install it. There are hackers that are actually pushing that stuff. So be careful of where you're downloading some of this content, because even though VLC is a completely legit, completely safe application, if you download that from a site that has a malicious version on their server, you could be open to malware being installed on your computer or phone, whatever. So, and hey, if they got your face on your phone, you're in trouble then. So, be smart about where you're downloading this stuff, because that's important.
And don't download CC Cleaner from anywhere.
Yes.
No,
I haven't
do
used CC
not.
Cleaner in forever. But I just saw this article. I know that I've actually got these two installed on my
7-Zip
computer.
and
Yeah, and VLC.
VLC.
Just
I think I
VLC
tried
more for
CC
tests.
Cleaner 15 years ago. Ran it once. It broke pretty much most of my programs. It's like, screw you.
I think it was a good program until a few years ago, but they had a scandal, I think so. Or
Yeah,
they
I
Mostly-
think
Make
you're
a lot
right.
of money.
someone.
Hey guys, sorry I gotta run.
All right,
Alvin,
see, man.
great to see you.
Oh,
Dad,
okay.
good to see
See,
you.
man.
Mark,
Thanks
See
for
you
coming
later.
on.
Buster, enjoyed
See
it,
you,
guys.
man.
Hey,
All right, see, man.
honored to have C-Man on here again. Builder, add-on
Yeah.
guy. Find me on Telegram. I will get you to his groups if you want to join them. Hey, major props to you, C-Man, for all the work you do. I
Hey,
really
thanks,
appreciate it.
guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Now, it
The
makes you
other-
wonder if those ones on the right that they were pushing are reliable and legitimate.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, I know, right? I wouldn't use
Yeah.
any of that, you know.
Yeah, you've got to be careful about what you're installing in your device, because so many things. Again, especially when you do so let's say VLC. People are like, I don't know who creates VLC. I'll just type it in Google. Most of the time, at the top of the list, you got to be careful, because sometimes you'll see those are not legitimate sites because they pay to be put to the top of the list. So be careful about what you do. Another.
Look at the
Protect your
name
neck.
of the website
Oh yeah, that's another one.
that
Yeah.
you're going to.
PayPal. We had some.
PayPal.
So if you get, and I thought Alban sent this to me, and I do think that a lot of us ignore PayPal alerts. So if you get a PayPal alert, you may be part of the 35,000 people that possibly had some of your data breached. So I would suggest going to the PayPal application. If you get an email, go to the PayPal application, and they should alert you that, yes, your information was possibly leaked. And then they're offering 2 years of identity coverage and stuff like that. But most of the time, I ignore anything I get in my email from PayPal that's not that's outside of what I've bought.
That what you bought.
Right, because I know
people
I
do.
bought something, I get an email. Okay, fine, I bought that. But
What's
if I
funny
get
is they banned me almost 20 years ago, and they still send me emails. Like, oh, join up.
what, you should try it. Maybe they forgot. You know, like an old
I
girlfriend. Maybe she forgot that she dated you and
I
dropped
Yep.
you.
tried. I tried with different accounts. I tried with other names and other accounts. And they always tied it back to me.
Wow.
Oh man.
They're good
Wow.
at what they do.
You gotta use that other site there for the credit cards.
I mean, that's not bad.
You know,
It's only
yeah.
35,000 people, so that's considered
Yeah,
small
that's
compared
Right,
to
that's
very,
nowadays.
considered small. But we know that, in 3 weeks from now we're gonna hear, oh well, sorry, it wasn't 35,000, it was 35 million.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oops, our problem. I'm sorry. We're sorry.
Yeah, we missed the decimal point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Let us
That's
sell
tough.
some of our stock first before we release that information.
Yeah, you're right about that, Alvin. That's probably exactly what.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to report, because come on, really, you think a hacker is going to go in and I'm only going to grab you 35,000. I'm in the middle of all this. I'm just going to take 35,000 just to say that I did it. No, you're going to take
He
it
was an
all,
ethical
okay?
hacker.
Right, you're a data hoarder. You're a data hoarder. You're going to take it all. Every little bit of it, okay?
Yeah, you're right. It's probably you're right about it. They'll probably be next week.
If you're in there,
We missed
you're
a
gonna
couple
take it all.
decimal points.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they always
Sorry.
do that.
Yeah, we're going here for a couple weeks. So again, be careful. If you have, which most people have PayPal accounts. Just be wary of it. Again, it was access, and it could have all your information. But we'll see. All right. So Alban didn't send me a protect your net or Alban sites of the week.
No, I'm sorry,
But hey,
guys.
I got
was,
one. I got one.
Oh, you got one. Great.
got one.
Okay, good.
Converto. And this is thanks to Blue. She actually used this application today. So I've got all right. So I'm not going to actually search
Convert O or
Convert O, and it's .re. And I have this in the show notes. So this site, if you go through and let's say that you want a certain song or video, you're able to put the URL in this thing, and you can download the whole video, or you can download just the music part of it. So let's say you want only a song, put the URL from YouTube right in here and do a search, and it will show you is it available in downloading in 480, 720, or just the audio of the if you're wanting an MP3. So
I got another one for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you
The one
take any
caveat I will say,
you take any YouTube video, right, and say you have the URL, where it has YouTube, instead of it just saying YouTube, make it YouTube 5S, and then it has the rest of the link there, and it'll convert it for you.
a lot of those converting sites, they don't last very long.
Yeah.
No, this one's been around a while. I've been using it for.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna do one of my videos because I'm not worried about.
Okay,
it.
yeah, go to one of your videos, and then at the end of the YouTube, put 5S.
I still use JDownloaded for all my YouTube stuff.
So, all right. So, what did you say the site was, Mr. Alban?
Go to YouTube and go to one of your links of a video.
YouTube what? I got the URL.
No, just go to your videos, Dabs.
Go to that URL. Go to the URL, and then in
Just
the
go to
address
your
bar, you're
videos
gonna
that you
change
have
it.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
In your account or any account, actually, it doesn't matter. Make a video.
If you click on the video.
Well, I'm gonna use mine, so I'm not because I'm not going after myself.
So just click on one of your videos, and then go up into the URL up in top.
Okay.
And then instead of it says YouTube, make it YouTube 5S.
.5S?
No, not .5S. YouTube 5S dot
5S?
Yeah.
Like that?
I can't really see it, but no. It's YouTube 5. Hold on, now I'll send you what it
Is
would
it
look like.
YouTube.5s.com or
No,
YouTube.com.5s?
Because
no,
I
it's
got
YouTube
here's this
5S.
is I'm doing a search for.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Trying to look at them two handsome fuckers right there. I need a fucking another beer. Fuck them all out. Fuck,
That's definitely Pub and Grub there. Does your
Wow,
nickname,
you've been hitting them today, huh?
Oh, I have. I've been feeling good. I'm feeling fine. You know, George Thorogood says, when your mouth is dry, you're plenty high. Hey, look at, they're like snoring. Who's snoring? Bama fan, that is Funster's dogs.
Oh,
Anybody of us
I forgot
that,
to mute. I thought I was on mute.
That's
No,
but
no.
hey, any of us that's been in his chats or had him in our
You
chats
should,
and it gets late at night.
Funst, I think that you should like record the dog snoring, and then you could either put it up on YouTube as a sleep machine, because if you just keep hearing that, there's no way you won't fall asleep, because you'll be
I
so
thought that's why
jealous
people had a
that you want to be
spouse.
as.
Fun's SMR.
It's true. Well.
J Downloader. Hey, I know Mark is a massive supporter of J Downloader.
Hell yeah.
That's a great feature, especially if you use some of our. I use Real to Bread all the time with that. All right, did you figure that out, Mr. Aubin?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm getting it here now.
He's looking.
I seen a YouTube video on it. I didn't watch it.
Oh wait, you sent one to me?
No, I seen it. I
Oh,
just didn't click on it.
Oh shit! People sending me message.
Auburn will figure it out.
He got it. He got it under control.
Yeah.
Let's see. Peter asked, Aubin, was there ever a time PB before Plex? The K app interested you?
Yes, it did. I was all in on it, but my problem is I'm in a data hoarder, and I already had so much on DVDs, and then when the K app came around, I was like, oh, this is great. I don't have to look for a DVD ever again, because everything is out here. But not everything was always out there. But then I said, oh, I can, grab the file myself and, in 4 seconds. Well, that was a no-brainer to me.
Instead of
And that's
scraping
why
and
I got everything.
searching.
Yeah.
And people ask me, why are you in Cody if you don't even use it? Because I can go on my computer and double click a file and watch it.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Like, well, what if you don't have it? Like, well, give me 2 minutes and I will
2 minutes
have
and I have it. Yep.
Yeah, there's plenty of, especially if many of us that use a Debrid service or Easy News or all different services, depending on which one you want to use. There's lots of ways of getting your content without the worry of getting in trouble, and you can get that content pretty easily.
I'm still a big user of forums.
Are you what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Forums.
Yes. There's a lot shared on forums, even old stuff, lots of old stuff.
Really? I mean, where are they putting that at, though? I mean, where do they store that at?
Usually file hosters.
Huh.
RapidGator, same place you get your streaming stuff from. I mean, you can get torrents on forums. You can get anything.
Yeah, see, I mean, I think of back in the day when we used to use IRC all the time.
Yep, I remember that.
Using that to get your content.
But a lot of people forget this stuff existed because they want it and they want it now. Yeah. They don't want to put any work in to get into it.
Well, the difference is that the people here on the panel have an idea how to get things. Most people that are cord cutters are early levers of cable TV, satellite TV. So they
Yeah.
click it and it works.
Yep.
That's all I want. Click it and works. So, and yeah, I use when I'm using Cody, I very rarely have issues. I'm very rarely.
Well, here, I'll give everyone a tip. 'Cause I notice a lot of people are always complaining, like, hey, my downloads don't work from this add-on, because some add-ons you could download from.
Some, yeah.
So if you don't know how to, like, actually go to websites and you don't know how this stuff is happening, open up your Cody folder, open up an add-on, look at the scraper, you'll get a website. It'll tell you exactly where you're getting your content from in Cody.
True.
So.
Most people
Or-
though they're autoplay. Sorry, Fonster.
Or you can click just in the add-on if you have Real Brit. Watch the movie for a half a minute and go to the Brit website.
Oh, I hate that
True.
one. I hate that tip.
Yeah, but it's
'Cause a lot of-
easy for people who just want
Oh, I
one
know.
movie and
Oh, I know.
it's
Well, I'm
the
saying
easiest
as an
way.
add-on dev, I hate that tip because people have said, "Hey, I want to watch this movie. Can you put it into your add-on for me?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." Because it's not in any other add-on, so I put it in there, and next thing I know, it's in a bunch of other add-ons. All of a sudden, it's like, give me a break. Because I know what they're doing. They're asking me for something, and then they're grabbing it from Real to Grid and using it. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, getting the hyperlink.
Yeah, it's like you can't just ask me, "Hey, can you send me this?" Because I do that. There's a lot of people that run one-click add-ons. If they can't find something online, I'll send it to them, or I'll share my XMLs. Just gotta ask, not take.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's EA. We got people on the panel. Some people that are big Plex users. I'm still more of a Cody guy than I am a Plex. I mean, we do have Plex. I have that as an option. My first search or my first place I go is Cody. It's just because to me, it just works better. I get more options to me. But works for other people is different. And that's why when we talk about these different options, I'm not saying one's right and one's wrong. What works for you is best. If some people think that using Syncler or some of these are or Cinema HD or whatever the other application is, whatever. If it works for you, great. Use it for you. I know what works for me, and I know what content I get for me. So when people are like, "Well, what are you using?" Well, what I'm using is what I'm using. I mean, and I have friends and family that'll be like, "This is too confusing.
Yeah.
It's too hard." Okay, well then
But
here's your other
that's
option.
the other reason why I like
care.
Cody. I mean, where I like Plex, because for my family and friends that that were always like, oh well, using the K app, it was like too much for them to either find what they were looking for or having to use um, like real debris or anything like that.
Yep.
It just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it to me. And me now having this, especially for family, to have like pictures and stuff like that, and they have everybody has their own set of pictures. I just wish that Plex didn't take that away of being able to upload everything a lot easier. But at least I get the pictures that I need and I put them up there for them. So I'm
can't possibly mess
basically
up
hosting
Plex.
their right. So I'm hosting all of their pictures for them too. I don't mind. It's you never know when pictures come in handy for things.
Because everyone likes to ask what's the best, but there is no best because it's what
There is no
what
best
for you.
No. What you right.
And this is another software here, Streamio. I've seen that a lot of people like it. But again, it's a paid. I got it right here. But the Streamio app software, again, that's another one of those that you got to pay to use it. There's a lot of those softwares. I got to pay extra
No,
just to use that
you
software.
don't. I don't think you do.
No, you don't.
On
No,
Streamio?
but- yeah, it's free. You
I
can
think there's
No, you're
free
not.
and there's paid for each one.
Oh, okay.
you can click like some like add-ons in Streamio. I think you can click like the Pirate Bay, then it installs something, and then you get it from the Pirate Bay.
So it does like a
I
plug-in
think
or
it's like
extension kind of thing.
something like that. But I don't know. I have a friend who uses it, but
I used it just for oh shit, it's been over a year and a half ago. I used it because I think instead of a Y, it's an I, and Strumio. I just found it to be clunky, and I don't know. I just wasn't. It wasn't for me. There, like you said, you had to install a bunch of different plugins.
it's I think it's more like people who come from popcorn time.
Oh, okay.
They like Streamio a bit better than Cody, I think.
All right.
They just want to see pictures and click on the pictures and have something play.
Yeah.
That's some play. Yeah, there are a lot of people that are like that. You know.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
hate the
Todd,
pictures.
I forgot
I
to
always
tell you
use
that-
list view.
List view is
Or-
fast.
Yeah.
It's faster.
And
Definitely.
you see, I like to read the titles. The half of the time you get distracted by the posters or the posters change. Yeah, and you're looking for a movie and then it's a different poster.
What
what-
makes
with
me
me,
laugh
I-
is the
I
people that
think one
want
of the-
their. Oh, go ahead, Alvin.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
The thing, like people want their views and they want Rotten Tomatoes and ratings and stuff like that. It's like,
And they
If you
mess
wanna
up their
watch
whole
something-
Cody.
yeah, it's like you want to watch something, just watch it. Don't worry about if other people like it or not.
Right.
Yeah, because a lot of times that
what-
shit's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. What I really like about Plex, I think that's like one of my main reasons to being so addicted to it, is that because of their adding it to watch list. So like if I'm watching a preview of a I have like the preview set. So when I'm gonna watch a movie, it shows a preview, and I say, oh yeah, I know I have that, and I want to watch it. You can right there just add it to my watch list, and there you go. When I sit down and I want to say what do I want to watch, using my watch list with it is just great. I really love that, and also being able to go to an actor and be able to see
all the movies. Yeah.
their movies and being able to just click on that movie and just go right at it. Todd, I meant to tell you, I forgot to tell you, check the private chat there for that link.
Oh, okay.
There's also a playlist you could do.
Yeah, you can do playlists also.
One of the cool things with Plex, I do like it that you can actually suggest things to other people, like your friends. Like say if I watch a show,
what I always do,
and I'm like Alban will really like this show. I can actually send him a thing saying, "Hey, you'll like this show." Not any other application. Yeah, you can go into the stars and then suggest it, share it with a certain friend.
You can share it,
and you
because Jenny uses mine on a Fire Stick, and she sets up her own playlist and stuff. And I always tell her, "Hey, I added this. You'll probably like it." Like I say that on Facebook, but
I don't know. If
you can do it through Plex.
Certain interfaces. I know on my phone.
On the Fire Stick, they'll see it on the Fire Stick.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah,
because it's a way of sharing. It is
the other thing that what I really like is the option now with Plex to be able to send an email to someone. Like, say you have a movie that you like, you can send them a direct link right to your server to watch that one movie. Yeah, that's great, because this way you can either want to turn them on to Plex or just let them watch that movie that they want to watch.
So I've probably never seen stuff like that because I never had the Plex Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have one?
No, I have it now.
No,
I told you
have it
guys
now.
before the only reason I got the Plex Pass is just so I can hit stop stream from the people that have it on pause for an hour.
Right. Yeah.
I guess I should
the
explore
Plex
more.
Pass is great. Yeah, it does quite a bit. And I know Todd talked about the Plex amp before,
Oh,
but
love it.
Plex Dash for anyone that has a server is a definite app to have on your phone. It really is. It's great because you can just, like, in real time look at your server logs and everything, the utilization, everything you can see all on your all what's going on your server from your phone.
Doesn't the regular one on the phone do that? The regular Plex app?
The regular Plex app not as much. Not when it lets you look at how many people are watching something. You don't have to go into the Plex app. You just open up the Plex Dash, and it's like a dashboard for your Plex. It allows what I like about it is will allow you on the fly that you can log into your Plex, and you can change your posters. You can change the naming of a file, which comes in really handy. You know what I mean? Like when you have stuff that you want to change.
Yeah. I'll
All
have to
right.
install that.
We'll roll up because
Uh-oh.
Beach
We're
is
getting,
ready to
yeah,
start
we're
with Tough
getting,
Man.
yeah, we're getting yelled at. Yeah.
Wrap this shit
Okay.
up, motherfuckers. All right. Plex
Yep.
amp is awesome if you're a music lover and you have Plex
But I
Pass.
will say I tried
Plex
Plex
amp.
amp on my car, and not so good in the car.
Oh, really? I use it on my phone. I love
Okay.
how it creates playlists. It
I
creates
use
all
it on my
kinds of
phone.
playlists. All right, so let's go ahead and roll out here. I'll start with Funster. Thank you for joining our show. You're welcome at any point, buddy, to come hang out with us, even if your dogs are snoring.
That's a good thing, but they always snore. They even snore when awake. Like, even after 2 surgeries, still snores.
Still snoring.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and bye, everyone.
And so Funster, he does all kinds of skins and wizards. You have a wizard. You don't really do anything in add-ons, but you do have some builds, Funster.
Yeah, I have a few builds.
Yeah.
Way too many, but
So
I have way too many builds.
I will
Yeah.
if you join my Telegram group, you can find his URL, get his to his repo, and get tons of content on there. Again, knowledgeable guy.
Also,
yep.
I also have something for people who want to keep 19.5
Okay.
and they don't know how to delete the pop-up for version 20. If they don't know that, the add-on there, I can think of that you can shut off startup services.
Yeah, it disables
You
the version
Yeah,
tracker.
you can disable the version checker.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, you're right. Because there's that version checker, which is actually a script they added a while back ago.
Yeah, if they want to keep now using 19.5
without getting that pop-up.
Yeah, without getting that pop-up.
Well,
you can do it from inside Cody, but I think it's hard for most people to find the section.
Yeah, I'm that version checker is in system add-ons, and then it should be a service.
You can go to add-on browser, and I think it's
a program or a script.
So I think services. I
Tiny
think it's a
texting.
service.
Tiny texting.
Any of us that watch Tough Man know exactly what that means.
No matter how much I search the internet, all I
But
find
there
is
is a
video.
UFC tomorrow, right? There
Yes.
is a UFC tomorrow, though. Yes,
I think so.
People know. I wasn't home. I didn't get to make up all my goodies for everyone. I'm really sorry. Hopefully next
Well,
week.
the NFL's this
I'll
weekend.
be alive
NFL
and we can
playoffs.
do. Oh, okay. All right.
So that's
All right.
on, and then definitely the Tough Man tonight and tomorrow.
We know wrestling's on.
Wrestling's on every damn
Always
day.
on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Anything you want to say before we go?
Just one other.
humans.
Okay, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
That's it. I hate humans. All good.
Okay.
I have a lot of builds. I have some add-ons. I will say, in Oath, the oath forks. I have an oath fork. A bunch of other people do. A lot of stuff is getting ISP blocked. It's not the scrapers. I went through the scrapers. I've taken them out. I fixed them. It's just certain movies that come from certain places will be blocked by ISPs. Like everyone in the UK says, "Oh, your add-on's great. I never have a problem." But certain people in the US will have a problem. So it's just ISP stuff.
Yep.
But other than that, I got builds, I got add-ons, blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
So check him out. Cody Apps has Grindhouse. If you want to check out Grindhouse, that will be his content. And 18 or older for most of his content. I think that's safe to say.
Well, I got one porn add-on, and the other one you might find some errant swearing here and there in the menus.
Yeah. Hey, and I'll say he's been awesomely filtered today.
Oh, very
Mark has
well. I'm
fucking.
shocked.
He has been.
I'm
I've sworn
shocked.
more than he
because-
has.
Just one more.
Well,
you know?
Todd's been drinking and swearing up a lot, so I didn't have to.
No, I'm ready to drink some more because I'm feeling pumped. But that's
Oh.
Alban. What do you guys say before we go?
I don't know if you spoke about it, but the slap fights on
No.
those started the UFC ones.
Oh, okay.
So just if
Slap
anyone,
fights?
huh?
UFC slap fights?
Yeah.
Dana
Well,
White
it's Dana White slap
Dana
fights,
White
you know?
slap.
It's already on Plex, so you
Is
can,
it just him and
you
his
can grab
wife?
it. Yeah, I know, right?
Ba-dum,
Yeah.
bum.
I read the news.
Yeah.
Got jokes.
Yeah. I also want to thank everyone for, like I said earlier, for the well wishes, and I'm glad I'm back here to see everyone. I thank Bunster, Mark, and C-Man for filling in for me, taking care of Dabs, because I miss my brother, and I know he's been praying for me.
Yes.
And hey,
You're home.
I'm home. Well,
Oh.
going back in, but I'm home right now.
For a minute. Go back.
Yeah.
Going back to the hospital tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta do the show,
Yeah.
Alban's like, you gotta freaking release me. They're talking about Plex.
Yeah, they're talking about Plex. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I posted a short slap thing in Telegram.
Oh, I'm gonna
Okay.
check that out.
Well, when you have the UFC pillow fights, then let me know. I'll watch that.
UFC. All right, so pillow fights.
No, but our pillow fights is the thing.
We have seen pillow fights.
Okay.
That's something separate.
Yeah.
Female pillow fights.
Okay.
They do. Well, all right. So hey to Doc. I see he's over in the side chat. Again, if he wants to join the show, I posted on Twitter. You're more than welcome to join our ragtag group of people on the panel. Let me go ahead and get out of here so I can drink some more beer because I'm feeling good.
And you gotta watch the tough man.
And Beach, just post. I didn't look to see if you posted in Oculus if what the room number is, but more than likely you did.
He hasn't yet. He hasn't yet.
Oh, he hasn't yet. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. He wants to start.
Yep. So he wants to get going. Again, awesome things. If you got an Oculus, join the group. All these URLs are down below. Happy for you guys to join us and have a good time. We enjoy Oculus. It's fun. It's fun for us to hang out and have a good time. I want to thank C-Man, Funster, Mark, and Alban for joining the show. It's been awesome to have everybody to be able to come and have on and have everybody's thoughts on when we're talking about Cody 20 and pros and cons and what you like. But whatever works for you works for you. If paying for Netflix and Disney works for you, fine, that works for you. If you want to find other options, sometimes that's what this show is about. We want to talk about that other option. So join the Telegram groups. They're down below. We'll try to help you. It's easier to help you there than via comments on YouTube. It's hard to answer your questions there. And who knows when I get kicked off of fucking YouTube. So thanks for everyone joining. We'll see you guys because streaming matters to us because streaming matters to